First of all, I wanted to say to Mr. and Mrs. Marlowe, we live every single day in the memory of angels like Jake and every single beautiful soul that was lost on October 7th, every day, okay? Let Daniel be a testament that he is smiling and living and speaking around the world to make sure that the world knows that while 21-year-olds are on the street cheering for an intifada, we have young, brave soldiers who are fighting to protect Israel every single day in your son's memory. So, yes. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight, and of course, for your commitment to the Youth Aliyah organization. My name is Danielle Yablonka, and I am a Jew, I'm a Zionist, I'm an artist, I'm an activist, and I'm an influencer on social media. I'm honored to be here speaking alongside my boyfriend, Daniel. Daniel's story is pretty incredible. He's brave, he's resilient, and yes, he's missing a leg. It's okay to laugh. Ha ha ha. No? Silence. British humor. No. He's also been my light since October 7th. Together we faced moments and tested our strength, hope, and our purpose. Tonight, we want to share not just our individual journeys, but how those intertwined in a way that neither of us ever expected. Oh, I have the clicker. There we are. So that's me. I'm the granddaughter of Holocaust survivors, and I know that it's my duty to speak louder and prouder than ever before. I started my activism through art and fashion, as you can see. I would paint about my identity while simultaneously pursuing a career as a fashion model, where I started building an Instagram platform. I was able to leverage my platform and use it to share my experiences as a Jewish individual and my experiences and encourage other people to speak up and speak loudly and proudly. Ever since October 7th, I've continued using my platform for storytelling. In a world that demonizes the only Jewish state, my home, our home, Israel, it has been my mission to be on the ground telling the stories of people and put faces to the names. In April, I went on another mission to Israel, where I found myself interviewing injured soldiers, and of course, I found the cutest one, Daniel. For me, my journey has been about using my voice and my platform to stand up for what's right, to bring people together, and to, no, not the same line again, and to share the stories of those who otherwise would never be heard. In doing so, I met Daniel, whose story is one of unimaginable bravery and sacrifice. While my activism has been about amplifying voices, Daniel's has been about putting his body on the line to protect those voices and the values we both and all of us here share so deeply. Now, babe, I'm passing the microphone to you. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Daniel, I'm 21 years old, and I was born in Ukraine. In 2014, I moved to Russia, and 5 years ago, I made Aliyah to Israel. When I came to Israel, I had a choice. Attend regular school, even though I didn't speak a word of Hebrew, and I didn't know anything about Israel, or to go to a boarding school where I would be surrounded by other people from Ukraine and Russia who spoke the same language and make friends easier. I chose to go to Neve Hadassah. Thanks to the Youth Village, I went from zero Hebrew to speaking fluently. There was a learning center, and I was struggling with math because I didn't speak any Hebrew. I went there, and they helped me so much. I passed an exam, and then later I became a tutor, and I taught other students Hebrew and English and math. At the school, I was there from Sunday to Thursday. We had different activities. Once a month, we had Shabbat together in order to bond. And in Russia, I felt that everyone was for themselves. And when I came to Israel, I realized that the people were about helping each other. Everyone was trying to help me and giving back to the country. This inspired me and led to my decision to join the army, the IDF, and become a combat soldier. Even now after school, injury, recovery, even though we're in different places in life, I'm still best friends with my friends from Neve Hadassah, and we traveled the world after injury. And when I was 18, I went to the army and to combat unit Kfir, passed 8 months of training, and went to guard the Lebanese border. On October 7, when the war started, the day after, on October 8, Hezbollah struck my base with the rockets, sent 20 to 30 rockets, and we're expecting the same thing that happened on a Gaza border, happened on Lebanon. Luckily, it didn't happen. Then, for a couple of months, I was guarding the Lebanese border to prevent what happened in Gaza, and I was sent to commander's course. After a month and a half in commander's course, we went to Gaza for 2 weeks, and on the second day that we went to Gaza, we were in a building. I was first with my officer, and a couple of minutes after I entered the building, the whole building exploded and collapsed. I was conscious. I saw a lot of smoke. I looked at my arms. My gloves were burned. I saw I don't have a leg. I had the tourniquet in my vest, so I took out the tourniquet and I put it on my leg in order to stop the bleeding. Unfortunately, 3 of my friends died. Dolev Malka, Afik Teri, and Inon Yitzchak. 15, included me, were injured. Terrorists were waiting for the rescue team. He had an RPG. He was waiting for the rescue team because he wanted to shoot an RPG and cause 2 more casualties. But he was eliminated before. After I was evacuated by the helicopter to the Soroka, it's a hospital in the south of Israel, I was unconscious, in a coma. I woke up on the 3rd day. And also, a minute before we were supposed to be evacuated, we were supposed to go to the hospital, and helicopter cannot stay for long on the ground because of all the dangers. And then another soldier came, also was injured. And the rescue team had a dilemma, or to put the danger of the helicopter and try to save the soldier, or to leave him in Gaza and he would possibly die and go to the hospital. They decided to not leave anyone behind, and they rescued him, and a couple of weeks ago it was his wedding. And thank you. I was in Soroka Hospital for a week and a half. Then I went to Sheba Hospital for rehabilitation. I was there for 5 months. I was released past August. It has been a very long and difficult recovery. I spent as much time as PT and rehabilitation speaking with youth and visitors from all around the world. Here I am returning to Neve Hadassah this summer to be honored at the graduation.
You can leave it for a second so they can see it, because it's so special. You should see it.
Now, in conclusion, I want to share with you 2 lessons that I learned from my injury. First one, that a couple of months after my injury, one of the friends that was injured in the same event, he came back to serve in the army. My unit went from Lebanon to Judea and Samaria. He was a commander, and unfortunately, when he was in a checkpost with his soldier, the terrorist came with a van and ran over him, and he died. Later, we found the ring in his pocket that he wanted to propose to his girlfriend. But I want you to remember one thing about Elia Hillel. You remember the soldier that was married? So Elia Hillel was injured in the same event, and he was the one that rescued the soldier that was married later. At the same time that he was injured. So the lesson that I learned from it is when something bad happens in your life, for in my example, I lost my leg, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe I want something worse. And everything happens for a reason. Second thing, if I wouldn't be injured, if I wouldn't be in a hospital, I wouldn't met Daniel. So the second lesson that I learned is good things are coming from bad things. And third takeaway is before the war, Israel were divided politically, left and right wing. And I think one of the reasons why the war happened is the enemy saw our weakness, that we were divided, and they decided to strike. And I think that the lesson that all Israel learned, that we need to be united, we need to help each other, and we're stronger united. Thank you.
He's pretty good. So standing here tonight, we are living proof that even in the darkest of times, hope is not lost. Strength comes from unity, and resilience is built together. To Youth Aliyah, to Dalia, thank you for believing in people like Daniel, for giving young people the chance to build new lives in Israel. And I want you, that's important. And even now, I'm bossy. Oh.
And even after I was injured, my Hebrew teacher from Neve Hadassah, she came to visit me in the hospital, and it was so difficult for my mother because she doesn't speak any word of Hebrew. It was so difficult for her in the hospital because of the doctors or the soldier that came to visit. And teacher offered to teach my mother twice a week a Hebrew classes. So now she's teaching her twice a week a Hebrew classes. And that kind of support shows the beauty of Israel, I think.
And
thank you.
Youth villages. So we just want to say thank you to all of you for showing up, for giving, and for being part of this community. And thank you for welcoming us here tonight. And have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Daniel and Danielle.